So I've decided to make a introductory video for this song because it's layered, as I've explained in the song recording. By the way, I'm inside because it's fireplace, right? Overcast, rainy day, still in the winter. But this is one of my favorites. I think this is probably one of the best songs ever written. Lily, Rosemary, and the Jack of Hearts. In what I'll call Dylan's lyrical masterpiece, he presents a multi-layered examination of Americana by taking on the genre most identified with America, the Western. But huge caveat before I begin, or get too far into this. I have this, if you've ever done this Myers-Briggs personality profiling, I have this INTJ, which basically means that I can't help but look for patterns in just everything. So take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. Translation, skeptical attitude, okay? Anyway, in a positive light, Westerns sought to teach the good values of honesty, integrity, hard work, racial tolerance, determination to succeed, and justice for all. So, in a sense, they were modern morality plays, where heroes, strong, reliable, clear-headed, and decent, fought their adversaries in the name of justice. And as a side note, through the past century of Western movies, one can actually trace America's self-image as it evolved from a rough and tumble but morally confident outsider in world affairs to an all-powerful sheriff with a guilty conscience. 60s, 70s, the guilty conscience thing. And you can see that in these movies. Now, typical to the Western genre, heroes and villains. And of course, there was always the saloon. Whiskey, card game gambling, and of course, the fallen angel, the dance hall girls. So, in this song, Dylan presents a tapestry that includes all of these ingredients, and on a superficial recount, a compelling Western. However, dig a little deeper, Dylan, right? You discover that all the main characters in the saga are represented by a playing card. So, Jack of Hearts, the drum roll, the Jack of Hearts. Big Jim. Big Jim is the King of Diamonds. Lily, described as a princess, I suspect is associated with the Queen of Hearts. And finally, Rosemary, who I think most closely is represented by the Queen of Spades. Again, digging a little deeper. You also find corresponding association with tarot cards. I don't know if you're familiar with tarot cards. I'm, high level. Tell the future, all that stuff, whatever. The Jack of Hearts in a tarot card deck signifies an honest young man in love. He is attractive, nice, generous, and would like to be kind to everyone. As a lover, the Jack of Hearts is often away, but committed and sincere. deeper still, you'll find a correlation between the characteristics of the Jack of Hearts to the Magician and Tarot card deck. So I've got some notes here I made to kind of describe that. So what does it share? So if you decode that profile, the Magician tarot card profile, you're presented with a youthful figure in a robe of a magician, having the countenance of divine Apollo with smile of confidence and shining eyes. Above his head is the mysterious sign of the Holy Spirit, the sign of life, like an endless cord forming the figure 8 in a horizontal position. About his waist is a serpent cincture, the serpent appearing to devour its own tail. This is familiar to most as a conventional symbol of eternity, but here it indicates more, especially the eternity of attainment in the spirit. In the magician's right hand is a wand raised towards heaven, while the left hand is pointed to the earth. This dual sign signifies the origin of grace, virtue, and light, drawn from the things above and derived to things below. The suggestion throughout is therefore that the possession and communication of the powers and gifts of the Spirit. On the table in front of the magician are the symbols of the 4 tarot suites, signifying the elements of natural life, which, and I'm going to paraphrase here, like tools that he adapts as he wills, and then beneath that are roses and lilies, changed into garden flowers to highlight the culture of aspiration. So this card signifies the divine motive in man, reflecting God, the will in the liberation of its union with that which is above. It also the unity of individual being on all planes. Hey, heavy stuff. Again, Dylan, messing with us. So, what do we have? Well, the magician is obviously the Jack of Hearts. Roses as in Rosemary. Lilies as in Lily. Very interesting. So, again, layers upon layers. So let's dig into the King of Diamonds. So the King of Diamonds represents a blonde man, self-important, haughty, fearsome, deceitful. In a word, a bad man. He is quick to anger, determined and revengeful. This card often signifies a man in a dangerous occupation. In spite of his flaws, many women find the King of Diamonds very attractive. Okay, Queen of Hearts. Represents sincere and loving woman of tender heart. For a man, this card means his sweetheart, lover, or a woman he will marry. More generally, the Queen of Hearts evokes the feeling of unconditional and caring love. Queen of Spades signifies distrust and prejudice. This card indicates your enemy, a nasty woman who is jealous of you. She will slander you. She will try to poison your relationship with other people. Also of interest, in the card game of hearts, college stuff, like spades and hearts. This card is known as Black Lady or Black Widow. You get the picture. I mean, I could ramble on, but I'm sure somebody out in the ether has sorted all this out. So I'll close with my Freudian perspective. I think Dylan wanted to challenge all Americans collectively in the song to reflect on who we are, how we got here, and where we're going. But on the other hand, it could just be an interesting tale of the Old West. Regardless, Dylan will never tell, and we will all be kept guessing. So enjoy the song, listen to all these references, and maybe you'll curse me down the road. I mean, you start like, oh yeah, I gotta look at this more, whatever, and you'll get obsessed with it. But again, I think this is like